There is a power that lies dormant within each of us, a creative force waiting to be awakened. Potentials of mind, science barely understands. Harnessing the energies of consciousness is the next chapter in human evolution. Join us as we explore the secrets of mind and the technology and people behind the revolution. This is the Mind Warrior Project. This is Zygon.
This is part 2 of The Universe as Consciousness.
Let's talk about the law of attraction and the mind.
Sure. Well, what is a law of attraction? So the fundamental principle of it is basically this, and everyone that hears this will know exactly what I'm saying because they've heard it before. Like attracts like.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a magnet. So if you have a belief system that's congruent, meaning aligned and connected with the universe, the reality that you experience becomes aligned with that.
Right.
So there's really two major aspects to that, and that's intent and belief.
Right.
So if you use your power of intent or intention, and that's where visualization training comes in, and you can train yourself to visualize a reality that you want to experience,
Mm-hmm.
it can happen. It's almost like magic. It can happen. The reason why it doesn't happen for most people, and the reason why training in our particular version of this, we call it visioneering, which is about creating the future that you want to experience. Why doesn't it work? Why is it difficult? Why can't I get my mind around it? And I'll tell you why. It's because fundamentally your beliefs are not aligned with what you're visualizing.
Right.
So the old saying, if you don't believe it, you can't achieve it. And I'm not talking about your beliefs consciously. I'm not talking about you just waking up one day and having like we have our online discussions about positive thinking. And positive thinking is valid. It's a good thing, but it's not deep enough.
Mm-hmm.
So if you keep telling yourself you're a millionaire, but internally you know it's to be a lie, it causes cognitive dissonance. And so it's that struggle between the reality construct that you're trying to manifest in your life and what your beliefs are.
Right.
So if you were told your whole life that you're worthless and you had reinforcing experiences that made you feel worthless, and so you have low self-esteem, all of a sudden taking our visualization course and trying to visualize that you've got a Mercedes sitting in your driveway probably isn't going to work.
So what's important about this is these forces that you have control over, which is intention and belief.
That's the problem. You don't really have control over it. You think you do, but you don't, because on an unconscious level, your internal programming doesn't support the new belief system.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we talk about, and I'm going to repeat it again, and it sounds like I'm, droning on, but it takes a new mind to see a new world. Everyone goes, well, Dane, what are you talking about? Because it actually takes making your mind over so that it supports not only your new beliefs, but any intentions that you have are then aligned to the universal principles of the law of attraction, where like attracts like. It's simple to say, it's very difficult to do unless you're trained to do it. And it doesn't happen overnight. So let's say you're 40 years old. It took you 40 years
Right.
to create your current belief system and that encrusted mind script that's operating where you are. And if you don't like it, you can't just overnight, magically create a new reality. You have to re-script and change those beliefs so that like will attract like.
So this is really important for people that are just beginning, people that have never really thought about this before. The key is to get rid of that negative programming.
Right. Actually, that is the fundamental work that one must do for all of this.
Right.
So I know a lot of people come into us and they go, hey, I just want to manifest. I want abundance. Most of them start with that. And I go, whoa, time out. Okay, so great, you can do that. And we have tools that can help you do that.
Right.
But first you have to go back and erase all that internal programming that's negative. And that's not easy to do. And I was just talking to someone the other day who was having a difficulty with this. And she was, saying how her thoughts are negative and she wants to be able to reprogram them. I liken it to the analogy of it's like looking at a clear pond. And you step your feet in the clear pond, and all of a sudden there's muck on the bottom that your feet touch, and all of a sudden the pond becomes stirred up with all this muck.
Right.
Well, what's happening is that's a metaphor for your unconscious mind scripts. In other words, it might look like you have a clear pond, but you actually have stuff that's on the bottom, and you start going in there and start stirring it up, and you realize that the pond isn't that clear. So the work that one does on themselves to have to really reshift their internal thinking of themselves, the way they see the world and the way the world sees them, they have to rescript that to a level that's going to match what the life is that they want to achieve. Just one real quick point here. Have you ever noticed that egotistical people seems to be successful?
Right.
And even though they're annoying as hell, I'm talking about people that actually believe and have confidence that they are at the top of the world. They're the best of the best. Nothing is better than them.
Right.
And they're kind of irritating, arrogant snobs, but they seem successful. They got a ton of money in the bank. Why? Because their belief system is congruent with the reality that they're experiencing.
Right. Their core beliefs enable them to do that. There's nothing preventing them from doing that.
Right. Now that's not to say they're having a good life or they're happy or any of that. I'm just saying in the material world, it's literally that simple. It doesn't mean you have to be a genius, even though intelligence can help. But I know a lot of very highly intelligent PhDs that are broke.
Right.
And they're miserable and wonder why, with their pedigree, they can't attract more wealth.
Right.
Well, it's because their beliefs.
So step one, the starting point is to deprogram and rescript, to get rid of all those negative thoughts and beliefs that you have that is preventing you from moving forward in your life, to be able to have what you want. So that's the foundation. That is the first step.
Right. And it's important. And I think the difficulty that people have with this is they want it all instantaneously.
Right.
It's like I go to McDonald's, I want my food, I want it now. And not realizing that if you're 40 years old and you've got a life of negative experiences, you have to deprogram yourself.
Right.
To make all this work. Once you do that, or you can do it in process, and as you do it, as you grow through it, you'll see miraculous things happen right before your eyes.
So, this actually goes right to what we're working on right now, which is the tutoring and coaching program, which is giving people a real curriculum that they can use to achieve whatever it is they want to achieve, and giving them options for the different programs that they can use to start this whole process.
Right. I mean, we have a lot of programs. So if somebody comes into us with, I just want to be more successful, what do I do? Where do I start?
Mm-hmm.
For those of us that have been doing this for years, it seems obvious, but it's not.
Right. Without the tools, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. You're going to get reinforcements along the way. You will see differences. My guarantee is that if you do this for 30 days, you follow the instruction, you will feel a difference.
Right.
It's subtle. And it's cumulative over time. So it's like exercise. So when you go to the gym and you exercise, you might not feel it the first day or two, but I guarantee you after a month, you will feel the difference. So that's the ask. The ask is if you're going to do this and you're going to do this work, be willing to put in 30 days.
Right.
If you're not going to be willing to put in 30 days, I would say just, don't bother. If you're just a button pusher, don't bother. I've had a lot of people in the first 30 days all of a sudden experience these synchronistic moments. Synchronicities start happening in their life, and that's a really good sign that things are going well.
Right. So let's talk about that.
Synchronicity?
Yes. What is it and how does it work?
Well, what synchronicity is, it's a kind of a way of your mind connecting with that universal mind and giving you an affirmation in reality change that you have a connected moment that you go, oh, wow. I'll give you a quick example. Let's say you just started a business. And you need a software programmer for your business. And you go to Home Depot, you're doing some home project, and you're going in the plumbing section and you're looking for a particular thing. And a guy's standing right next to you who is looking for something almost exactly what you're looking for. And you ask him some questions. Well, what is that part, or how does it work? And da-da-da-da-da. And you just hit it off.
Right.
Or you ask me, so what line of work are you going to go? I'm a software programmer. And you go, really? Oh, wow. I was just looking for a software programmer. In fact, I've been interviewing people all week and I can't find it. And boom, instant connection. Or you needed it.
Right.
Or you needed this connection to be made. You put that energy out there in the universe, and all of a sudden, boom, it found you.
So that's the key, putting that energy into the universe.
Right. So people ask me, well, how do I know this is working, Dane? Synchronicities.
Right.
Those will start happening more and more often. So how I live my life now is I even though I still do things in a normal business-like way, oftentimes I just expect, I have positive expectancy that all of a sudden someone's going to pop into my life that I need.
Right.
And sure enough, it happens more often than not. So these are moments that are affirmations where you go, okay, if this happens, if this is for real, then what else is possible? And so it reinforces that belief that you're not wasting your time.
Correct. So you're working with a Zygon program. Let's say it's the Brain Superchargers, and you're diligent. So every day you're setting time aside and you're working with the success conditioning programs, and you're beginning to re-script, all those negative beliefs. And what will happen as you then go about your life, you'll start experiencing that synchronicity.
Yes, you will.
Because that positivity is now being sent out into the universe. And what you're saying, you will now attract that back to you that will manifest itself in whatever it is that you want.
Correct. It's self-reinforcing. As you change your belief, the reality that you experience will start matching those inner beliefs. Like attracts like.
Right.
And so as you start doing that, it starts reinforcing then, oh, what I'm doing makes sense. This is starting to work.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you'll have down moments, you're not going to be in a joyful, blissful state all the time.
Right.
When you have self-awareness of this, then you go, oh, so my mind does have something to do with the reality I experience.
Right.
It's really that simple.
There's another effect. I don't know what you would call this, but your life begins to literally change. Simply because you're doing the work, you're putting the work in, and those negative beliefs and feelings and experiences are starting to dissipate, being replaced with positiveness, and you're just happier. You start feeling just this aliveness that you really hadn't really experienced before. One of the things that I've noticed is when you meet people or you've had people in your life for a while, you start realizing how different you are and start seeing them in a different light.
And here's what's going to happen. And it's kind of like a little bit of a downside to this. And that is that friends who were negative friends, you'll let them go.
Right.
In other words, people in your life are going to change. You're going to attract a different group of people. So if you were a downer Debbie, let's say, and so you're hanging around people who are also negative.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you start doing this work, they're not going to be that attractive to you anymore.
Right.
And all of a sudden a different group of people will start coming into your life, and you're just not going to want to hang with people that are negative.
And the people that will start coming into your life, you'll be aligned with.
Right.
When you are around people of like mind, there's a reinforcement there. It's almost as if you're becoming happier because you are surrounded by people that see the world the same way that you do. And
you've heard the concept, the mastermind group, right?
Yes.
Where you create a mastermind group. You actually intentionally do. This is an old idea. It's talked about. Some people are doing this, and they do it online even, where you actually go out and find people who will fit your mastermind group. And what you do is you bounce ideas off of each other, and you self-reinforce your positive belief system.
Right. I see now that our community, the Zygon community, is really a significant part of Zygon. I didn't really sort of understand this when we started it, but now I realize, how important it is to not only us, but to our members.
That is our mastermind group.
Yes.
That's actually what the intent is. And we'll have mentors in that group that will not only help our members do better, but the purpose of it is to be this positive, self-reinforcing body that's a mastermind group.
And it also gives them this immediate feedback. And we've had some amazing posts about how people's lives have changed. And the response to that on the community board is affirmation.
Well, they're going to help you because they know what it feels like. And also being a mind warrior is lonely.
Right.
I'm sorry, it is. It's part of the territory. In other words, once you start evolving your mind, you're going to discover there's not a lot of people that are going to connect with that.
That's true. That is very true.
So when you reach out and you have people of like mind that you can correspond with, it's a positive.
Let's talk about the tools that are available through Zygon to help you with the law of attraction, help you with reprogramming. And, we have a lot of new tools coming out, but from the Brain Supercharger, Ultra Meditation, and the Millionaire's Mind, these are like the three libraries that become the foundation for your work with Zygon programs.
Right. Well, if you just want a pure meditation experience and you want to go into that timeless state, and your objective really is to drive your attention inward and see if you can have one of those, epiphany moments. Some people have out-of-body experiences, et cetera. Then just focus on that. But if your intention is to go in and actually stir up the bottom of that mucky pond and start reprogramming that encrusted mind script with a new mind script, then obviously the Brain Supercharger and the Millionaire's Mind will help you do that. And these are not new. These have been out there for a long, long time and have had millions of users who have experienced transformation. So the key to using those is the willingness to do the work, whether that's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And the only way to really know what your progress is, other than being aware of those synchronistic moments and happenings that happen in your life, is to journal. Right. So journaling is very important because what it does, it gives us a record of what our feelings are at the moment. Right. And 30 days later, we can look back and go, oh, I see my progress. Right. I see when I first started out, I was very irritable. I was angry. I was irritated. And that's because these changes are subtle. Even though they're profound, they're subtle and cumulative over a period of time. So that's what when we call doing the work, right. That's what doing the work means. We're not talking about a ton of time, but it does take effort. Right. So you have to be able to, you have to go, okay, I'm going to set aside 30 minutes. I'm not going to watch TV. I'm not going to read a book. I'm not going to multitask. I'm just going to turn everything off. I'm going to lay down. I'm going to put my good headphones on, and I'm going to experience this.
This is a great point. I don't care where you are in your work. It's really important to document what you do and how you do it and when you do it. I use a calendar, one of those big 30-day calendars where each day has a fairly good size box to write in. And super simple. 30 minutes Brain Supercharger. Felt good going in, felt great coming out. Next day may be blank. Then the next day would be, I had 2 sessions and I didn't feel so well coming in. So you can really document it in a very short and succinct way to see what did I experience. But it also showed gaps. I didn't do any work for 3 days. That's not good. Because sometimes people get frustrated. Why is it not having the effect that I thought it would have? Chances are it's because there's inconsistency with actually doing the work, or there's some incongruity going on.
And do you document your dreams?
I do.
Because here's the other thing. Your dreams will change.
Absolutely.
Your dreams are going to become more vivid. Your dreams are going to be a rich, rich source of information. Whether they're bad or they're good, it doesn't matter. They're going to be a rich source. So I recommend people starting out doing this, that they journal their dreams.
It's really important to do that. And also sometimes, I don't know if you've experienced this, but I will know I dreamt, but just sort of vaguely, it's like, well, without it being vivid at all in my recollection. If I really pause for a moment and think about what my dreams were, they usually come back. I usually start seeing them more vividly, when I start remembering exactly what happened. And that's really important, because you can just say, I had bad dreams, or, I didn't sleep well because I was wrestling with a problem or whatever. But if you stop and think about what those dreams were, you'll usually come up with the specifics of what it is that you were dreaming.
Yeah, and I think the more you journal, the more your recall is going to be better, because the tactile sense of the pen hitting the paper will cause recall.
Talk about that, the actual experience of putting thought through pen to paper.
We call it kinesthetic contact. Mm-hmm. And in the remote viewing world, our pen, our paper, and our mind are our tools. And we can access any information in the universe. Past, present, future, any information with the protocols that we're trained with. So somebody's listening to this, they're going, are you kidding me? Are you serious? I'm dead serious. And after years and years of training, it's amazing what you can do. So the mind has access to everything. And what we've connected the mind with is literally the physical act of a pen touching paper is called kinesthetic contact. And so what it does, it triggers the mind to be able to grab information.
And everyone can relate to it. When you actually have to take thoughts and organize them and translate through your pen to paper, whatever it is that you're writing down, all of a sudden it's vivid, you can grasp it, it becomes more significant.
It's also the key to writer's block. People that are professional writers know that the act of just writing stimulates the output.
Let's talk about visioneering.
Yeah, so the current audiobook that's up right now called Mind Power Secrets is about that process. And it gives you, it explains the background of it, how it works, and gives you a very specific model for being able to do it. And what we're talking about visioneering now is taking that intent and belief and using the law of attraction to be able to manifest the reality that you want. The problem is that we described earlier on in this podcast was that if you just do that without having a congruent belief system underlying it, I'm going to say it's not going to work. It's not going to work as well. So that's why you have to do the work in both. So our visioneering course is going to take this many, many steps further. It's going to give you lessons in visualization skills and all that other stuff and give you a really good foundation. But then we're going to actually have scripts that you'll be able to listen to and follow. And just using your mind to fill in the blanks with those scripts, you'll be able to use it to manifest the reality that you want to experience.
So, Dan, let's talk about the big picture, everyone's role in it,
okay,
and talk about the Omega Point.
The goal of all of this, I'm not talking about Zygon, I'm talking about the goal of humanity, is evolution, an evolution of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, who was the Jesuit priest who wrote the book about the Omega Point, which really was that if you get a critical mass of consciousness at some point, that the whole earth comes online all at once. That you have an evolution of consciousness that happens, boom, in a flashpoint as critical mass is reached. So if a certain number of people are evolved or enlightened or whatever terminology you want to use for it, the entire planet comes online. So how is that possible? Well, first of all, we talked about earlier, all of consciousness is connected. The universe is connected. We're just a mind node, so to speak, on the greater cloud computing system, if you want to call it. But you know the person's name I'm about to say, Ken Keyes, wrote a book called The 100th Monkey. And The 100th Monkey was based on this very same principle, which was the fact that consciousness can happen all at once, or let's say a learned behavior can happen all at once. So he was studying monkeys on an island, and these monkeys would wash their potatoes that they would find in the forest or in the jungle in the salt water because it tasted better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so a certain number of monkeys copied that behavior, monkey see, monkey do. And then all of a sudden, on other islands near that particular location where this behavior had never happened before, all of a sudden, all of them started doing it all at once. So the Omega Point is essentially the 100th monkey syndrome, that if enough human beings reach a certain level of evolved consciousness, it goes to critical mass, and the entire planet is changed overnight. And I actually believe, and my thesis or my belief system is that we're talking about a new human. And I call this new human Homo noeticus, for the man of mind. And so Homo sapien, which will probably still exist at the same time, will exist simultaneously with this other being, this other human creature we'll call Homo noeticus.
What happens to everyone?
This is the purpose. This is the purpose of humanity. This is the purpose of being on Earth, is to evolve to this next level. Now it's a whole other conversation. There are forces that don't want to see this happen. But that is the evolution of our species, is to become self-aware,
right,
and to be able to be connected in a way that's way beyond what our current human experience.
And that's the goal. And that's everyone's goal, is to work toward that.
Yeah, and our contribution as a human being, other than being and adding our consciousness stuff to the universe, is as we successively evolve our minds, and we call it in our business Zygon, we call it mind development. As we develop our minds, we can't help but not influence other people we come in contact with. It's impossible.
Right.
And so they start evolving themselves. And before you know it, it's just like the evolution of technology.
Correct.
So we're talking about the evolution of mind, is that we've got a humanity on the planet that actually acts the way human beings should act,
right?
Which doesn't look like that at all right now. It just looks like chaos and a mess. But underneath that chaos and a mess, there is this drive for evolution.
It would almost become an overwhelming force of enlightenment that basically touches everyone else on the planet.
Well, if it's instantaneous, and that's what the theory is, when critical mass is reached or this omega point, then you're right. What happens is that all of a sudden we're in a different reality sphere. And so the people that really weren't working on themselves, it doesn't matter. They're still there too.
And it's almost as if it doesn't even really matter how we got there.
Right. This is our destiny. This is the destiny of being human. This is the destiny of being on the path of a human being. And this is the way of the mind warrior.
So thank you, Dane. And thank you, everyone, for listening. So until next time, enjoy your journey.
This ends the Universe as Consciousness podcast. Thanks for listening.
There is a power that lies dormant within each of us, a creative force waiting to be awakened. Potentials of mind, science barely understands. Harnessing the energies of consciousness is the next chapter in human evolution. Join us as we explore the secrets of mind and the technology and people behind the revolution. This is the Mind Warrior Project. This is Zygon.